Hi, everybody. Welcome to Unveiling the Truth with Brad and Robin. We are excited. This is episode 6. And so the ball is rolling on these episodes. We're having a good time. After each podcast, I just get super excited. I just love each podcast. And Brad has just been a great sidekick for me, and I for him.
I pay her
So
to say
we,
that.
yeah, he did actually. He bought me a
He
t-shirt,
did.
a Valkyrie
So
t-shirt.
she, great way to add on to that. Love it.
So, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about portals, vortexes, stargates, but we want to talk about something a little bit prior to that. Many of you know that I am a psychic intuitive. I've worked several years since my 20s with cold cases, and then I switched from cold cases and started working with more living. And so, as I have been doing channeling, I have a Robin Hyatt, the Blue Stars, my other channel. And if you want to see my channelings there, you can kind of see what I do. Um, and we're going to kind of talk about something that happened that Brad and we discussed, and it's a very important topic. There's a couple NDE videos that I was led to watch, and I've
Mm.
had a certain vision for several years, and I have a twin, a best friend twin, soul. Mate, not flame, but
Twin
soulmate.
flame,
Twin flame, thank you.
twin flame brother.
Thank you. Yes, he's my brother. And we've talked about this event for 4 years. And we thought it was going to happen a while ago. And so we've been kind of waiting for it to happen. So when I watched this NDE, and we could post that later on the
Yeah.
two
I'll
NDEs
put the
that I'm
links
going to
up.
talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, they're on my Patreon. And I was watching this guy, and he's of Jewish descent, and I'm very much a watcher of Jewish descent because some people say they're not the chosen people. I believe they're the chosen people. They're the chosen lineage that we need to watch. And so, in a biblical sense, because I do believe in most of the Bible for what it is, but I do believe these are a people that we need to watch. And so he had a near-death experience, this man of Jewish descent, and what he saw was what I've been talking about for 4 years.
Mm.
And he gave a date of when it was going to happen. And I don't give dates. I used to, but I stopped doing it because dates are fluid. Things can change. You just got one thing happening in the cosmic realm, and they're going, well, we got to put that off. So everybody, I believe, that's here in the cosmic realm are waiting for this event. And so, do you want me to tell kind of the event that he
Yeah.
talked
I mean,
about?
and he's not to piggyback on your point about the Jewish lineage. Um, you're not the only one to touch on that. We've seen the
Yeah.
podcast circuit, and I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with Samuel Chong, who is
Yes.
promoting
Yes.
the work of the book by Michel. Oh God, I forgot how to print. My
I need
French
to get
is
that book
rusty.
too. Yeah.
And he talks about how various races of humans originate cosmically from other planets and
Hmm.
other dimensions. And we've kind of
Yes.
come to Earth cohesively, but the Jewish lineage comes from one particular planet. I forgot the details, but he said the same thing. They're kind of leading the charge, so to speak, on what's to
Yes.
come for the levels of ascension, which would eventually be what I think he dubs the ninth
Yes.
planet. Yeah.
And they're taking the lead role. Yeah.
Correct.
And I think a lot of it's prophecy for them. I think there's a lot
Mhm.
more to their um, heritage that they know about that we don't, that's documented.
Oh yeah, I
They
don't
keep it
doubt that.
quiet, but they
Of
know.
course.
They know the signs and the symbols and all of that. So this man died, and an
Heart attack.
angel, if yeah, heart attack. If yeah, and if you could, an angel, I believe it was an angel that led him to different, if I can
I thought it
remember.
was I thought it was Jesus himself.
Was it Jesus? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
listen to it again.
Yeah. He
So,
basically was saying this is what is coming and this is what you need to know and see, because
Yeah.
your job is going to be to get things in order.
Yes. And everybody needs to get everything in order. So let me tell a little bit about what I saw um, for the last 4 years is that I knew that somehow our government would crumble. And I couldn't figure out how. And I thought, is it a war? Are we going to have a war in our country? What is going to happen to make it fall? And he answered all my questions. And then I saw that normal people would walk up to the plate and take over. And we would have like a council instead of a presidency, we'd have like a council. We would have someone that's over like the interior design. We'd have somebody that would walk up and do the engineering, and not only to benefit the United States, but to benefit poorer countries also. And it would just be like normal people, like a carpenter or a housewife. They all would actually be twinkled like in a just a minute, and they would go into their roles. They would know exactly their roles. It's like they walked out of the human society and they went right into their role. And
Yeah, I
this,
think one example was a custodian or janitor
a
becomes a
custodian.
mayor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
And they just walk into their role because everything got displaced. And I believe every politician and everything got ousted. I mean, they're all gone. They were like all gone. The whole government, everything's
tabula
gone.
rosa, clean slate.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just like, and I felt like I had a role. I feel like Brad has a role. I feel like my twin has a role. And all other people. There's going to be so many of us that are going to be the caretakers now. And it won't be scary. It won't be hard because you will be like in the Bible, it says like a twinkling of an eye, you're going to be changed. And then he talked about some people are going to go on ships and going to go home. And and it was just very interesting that my mouth was dropped open because no one has talked about this ever. I've been waiting for something to say, Robin, you were on it. You were right. And I mean, my twin, you gotta watch this. And like, Brad, you gotta watch this.
Because he thought the
So
same thing, right? He was aware of that
yeah,
too, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
like, I think he talked about, um, I don't know if it was Jesus's presence or the light. It would go into like there's a man working in his office. The light came in and went boom.
Yep.
And the guy just got up and he believed and he was on his way. I mean, it's just going to be like that. It's going to be all over the world. Boom, boom. This light is going to call you. And
Almost like an
I just thought,
activation.
yeah. And that's where you're going to walk out of what you are now, and you're going to realize that you're the warrior. You're the one that came down here for this purpose, and it's time for
Hmm.
you to to join the team. And I call it a team. So what I
What is a
saw
team?
too, a team is a group of people that is led by women. No, kidding.
Some of them are.
No,
Some of
I'm
them are.
kidding. No. And well, the team is going to be a little bit
Jeez.
of everybody's talents and
Of
abilities are
course.
all going to come together. And it's not going to have, and it was really interesting, like men and women, we're all going to work together. There's no ego, there's no jealousy, there's no anything. We all have a vision and we're just going to our vision. So think of the road of Jesus Christ. His life, he had a vision. He went straight forward. He did what he needed to do, and he didn't waver on it. And that's what all of us will also be doing. That's my vision.
And
So,
he knew
and
he was
then,
going to, and back to Jesus, he knew that eventually there was going to be a price to pay his life.
yes,
And it was, when you come to, when you're the first awakened soul in human form that understands it,
yes,
clearly at that dimensional perspective in the 3D form, not everybody's going to just be on board with what you got to say. And they weren't. Um,
no,
Obviously, the crucifixion, but
they push back.
doing it anyways, knowing, oh man, this is going to hurt for a little bit at the end, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
And
what's going
no,
to happen. Is there going to be some people, in my opinion, after this story, I think there's going to be some suffering. Maybe not everybody may make it, and the suffering will be for good reason in due time, but the shift will happen to where you'll see why you're enduring the suffering afterwards. Everything will be clear and make sense, because some of us are doing the suffering now, in a
hmm.
sense.
Well, and two, not everybody will be on the same page. People will become
Right.
scared and
Oh yeah.
fearful, and they will run and hide, and they will be angry, and they're really, because there will be also um, opposition will come at these people that are being called
Mm-hmm.
forward. And I feel that the people being called forward, it won't, they're gonna, I think they're warriors, they're trained, they've been hit harder than in this life. But people will know that. People are going to be confused. And that's what I've spent the last several years doing, is to help people be aware, because there's going to be a day where you're not going to know. It's going to be a war on words. It's not going to be a war of fighting. It's going to be a war on words for your own personal attainment, soul. And it's what you're going to believe. And, all the books, everything I've been writing is to give you maybe a guideline. So when you are confused and you don't know who to believe, do you believe this side or do you believe this side? Because they're going to be combating each other. And the dark side is going to mimic the light side. And you're going to be so confused that unless you are um, in a type of ascension, but if you're not, those are the people that I'm trying to help, is people
And
that are going to be
those war
confused.
on words and if we don't see that happening now, those who
Oh, we've
aren't
got a
seeing it
big
need.
war on
Yeah,
words.
we have a huge war on words.
Yeah.
The language is being spun and manipulated and obfuscated in so many different ways to make something sound good when it's really not good at all, and vice versa.
To
So,
manipulate you.
yeah, that's right. So language is almost, in a sense, a almost a curse. It's almost it
Mm,
resembles somewhat of what a parasite does. It latches on, and then it there's a gentleman named Chase Hughes who breaks it down and gives the analogy of how it's like a parasite. And there's
okay.
misinformation, disinformation. There's
Yeah.
so much out there, we don't know what words to believe.
Well, and I think in the United States, we were woken up by a presidential arena that was
Mhm.
giving us words that were false to get their way. And so I think we all kind of woke up a little bit in the last, since 2021. I think most of us have woken up. But what's surprising to some of the us that have woken up, there's some that followed and
Mhm.
supported the falsehoods. And you're going, how can they do that? Don't they know? Don't they see this? So I think that's where it's going to stand. It's going to be kind of like
Mhm.
that we're going to be in disbelief that anybody could believe that, or follow that.
Mhm.
But there will be, because they will have just as staunch followers as the light will have staunch followers. So, and that was the first NDE. So, anything else I need to share on that one? I think I covered that one. There's
Um,
two of them.
Pretty much that was it. And that
Yeah.
guy was brain dead, no activity for like 6 minutes. And his
Yeah.
doctor was like, I don't know how you came back from that. So
Yeah.
it wasn't just
And
it was a pretty profound NDE.
yeah. And he believed in Jesus after that. So his
And it was,
Jewish faith.
and the irony, he's Jewish. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily, they're waiting
And
for their
Jesus
Messiah, so
came
to
to
speak.
him
Yeah, exactly.
to walk him, and he actually physically, with his spirit, saw all of this happening. Um, and let me talk about the second one, then you and I can talk a
Okay.
little bit about
The
you.
Marine.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, the Marine. He also passed away. I can't remember exactly how he passed away.
And during war, it was like a something,
Was it war?
a,
Okay.
a roadside bomb or something, and he was pretty beat up, and
Okay.
he died.
So the second thing, I had a channeling session I did on my Patreon, and this was several years ago. And I saw California, and I was able to remote view in the underground part of California. And I saw all sorts of bombs and trucks and machines, guns, and all this, but it wasn't ours. It wasn't the United States. They were all
Mm.
of a different descent. They were illegal people that were here, and they were building an arsenal underneath California. And I thought, so I kind of was telling people, you got to be prepared because this is when California was doing weird stuff. And I go, of course, they don't want Trump's uh, reserves and military there because they have arsenals,
Going
they
to
have
interfere.
child
Yeah, it's going to
trafficking,
interfere with
they just
their,
have,
yeah, their syndicate.
yeah.
Yep.
So of course the mayor wants them not to, or governor wants them not to come there. Um, and so people just need to keep their eyes open. So I actually had a lady that wrote me a long letter that I was fear-mongering and that I need to shut my mouth
Mm.
and stop talking about this stuff because I'm creating fear. And I go, you're talking to an oracle, you're talking to a psychic, you're talking to someone that when I have such a complete vision like that, I have to tell you because what if
Hmm.
something happened and I didn't say it? I would feel horrible and it's my responsibility. That's
It's almost
why I have
it's
this.
almost like an ethic and code of oracles, kind of
Yes.
to do that.
Well, we're here for information and we're here
Exactly.
to give it to you and then it's up to you to believe it or not. You
Right.
know, you just take it or leave it. It doesn't, I don't care, but I'm doing my job. And so, also I had a vision, and I only my twin and I know this, is that I, for some reason, saw all the ships, the military ships, because we have off the coast of California, Florida, Texas, and I do believe the east side. We all were surrounded by our ships. And of course, we have naval all around there, but they were all coming in and facing the United States. Like they weren't docking, they're all were just coming in. And then also we had submarines, but they were nuclear submarines. And
Mm.
everybody's facing the United States. And I thought, why are they facing the United States like that? It's kind of scary that the whole fleet is out in the ocean facing the United States. Well,
Every
then I
possible
saw,
ship that can destroy
yes,
everything is
yeah,
pointed
they're
at
all,
us.
yes. And I thought, well, you think they'd be pointed out or they'd go out or up to Alaska to protect them. So then I saw them attacking us, that our sh own ships started firing on the United
Uh,
States with bombs. I don't know about the nuclear part, but I did see just like you know how you see in the war
just
the shock
yeah,
and awe and all the bullets coming in and the bombs coming in. It's just the light, just they
just
were just
leveling
pummeling
everything.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, what the heck? How would people that are under oath that defend us turn on us? How does that happen? And I was just in disbelief, like, how does that happen? So in this, so what my twin and I were trying to discuss is, were they under AI control? Somehow the ships went under a different control, and the men on board had no access to controlling the ships. We weren't quite sure. So was, we weren't sure.
Well,
So in this,
we've seen him shut down nuclear missile silos. there's record of that of non-human intelligence flying over
Oh,
nuclear
of
missile
course.
silos,
Well, of
shutting
course.
those down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
But
it's no
we
surprise
haven't
they
got to
can't
that.
do that.
Well, we haven't got there yet. So in
Sorry.
his NDE, that's okay. You just spoiled my thunder.
Oh, I know it.
That's okay. So in this NDE, he talks about this, and he talks about how alien craft in the water come up and destroy all our naval, all of them, all the submarines, and just in seconds they take everyone. There's fires. They just pummel all of our naval that's in the water. And I don't think he quite understood. He said people are going to freak out because they're going to
Yeah.
think we have an alien invasion and all these ships and everything is on fire. We have no more ships. We have nothing. And I said, that's it. They saved our lives, that the aliens saved us from being completely obliterated in the United States. And no one's going to know that because no one knows. I mean, the government won't tell us that we were going to
Oh
be
no.
attacked by ourselves. And the aliens came and they just took down the whole naval and just obliterated them in minutes. And so then I think he was talking about that the media and stuff use that as an alien invasion to divide us and control us. And now you better be careful because, but all along they saved us. That's all you need to know is they saved us.
Yeah.
They saved your
I think,
families. They
yeah.
saved our lives. They saved the United States. And you won't know that unless you listen to this and it happens. All these guys also gave timelines. And so I
They
don't give
did.
timelines, and they gave a timeline. The first thing he said, and I don't know exactly, it wasn't that dramatic, but he said something will happen on December 14th, and that will be the first inkling of
Right.
something. I can't remember what he said about the 14th. So I thought, well, if something happens on the 14th. Oh, he talked about the electrical grid and the monetary
Yes.
system
Yep.
going down. So I've been talking about this also for 4 years. Everybody have enough food and water
Prepare.
for 3 days. Get good books. I said, buy all my books so you have something good to read for 3 days and 3 nights. If you're in cold country, it was really interesting. I saw this family that their power went out for a week in cold country. And so they had, I think it was a solar power heater
Oh,
and
okay.
they built a tent. They had a tent, so they in their living room they moved all the furniture out. They brought this tent in as a family tent, and then they put everybody in the tent, and the heater heated just that tent, so everybody was warm and safe. And they read, and they played
Hmm.
games, and he said we just did what we needed to do,
If
and
you have a
so
fireplace, stock up on wood,
yep,
buy a good axe.
yep,
So if you need to go get wood,
yeah,
because you may have to old school it for a while
yeah.
until it's fixed, or for a long time, not just a few
Mhm.
days. It may take a long time before stuff like that gets up and running, because that's not just an quick fix to do. Restart the whole
Yeah.
grid.
And the money went down, so you should have funds. They said that if you don't have cash, you can't get groceries. You're not gonna, no cards or nothing will work. It'll be gone. And eventually, of course, the dollar value will probably be extinct in a while. But they said you should have cash on hand in case you need to run to the grocery store. And that's all they're going to accept is if you have cash in hand.
And
So,
you might
um,
even see people bartering with each other for
yeah,
things.
yeah, and yeah, and so we're not saying this to scare you, but we're saying for to be aware. I just want to put some thoughts in your head, and because these two NDEs totally validated something I've never told anybody about, and I took that as a sign that it's time
Yes.
It's coming, and all you can do to be prepared is lift yourself up. You need to get things taken care of. Get your how do you say that? Get your things in
Affairs in
order.
order. Get
Um,
your
affairs
get
in
your affairs
order.
in order.
Yeah. And just live a happy, I mean, just don't be scared, but be prepared. And I think when you're prepared, so like if I have enough food for a month and water, then I don't have to panic as much
Yeah.
as people would that have to run to the grocery store or have long lines that I can just hang home and I got it. I'm ready.
And
And
stay
so,
vigilant because other people may want what you
mm,
have. So just don't go out advertising, hey, yeah, I've got 5 months worth of food. Come on
yeah, no,
over, let's
no.
have dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Stay
Well,
vigilant through this
I,
because there probably will be a little bit of chaos throughout
oh,
something
yeah.
like this because it's so
Yeah,
new and it's on such a broad scale. Um, but like Robin was saying, one of the best things you can do aside from getting your goods to live off of is get I I would recommend, do as you may, work on your mental stability
exactly.
and your emotional regulation and
Hmm.
work on how to respond to certain things that aren't necessarily pleasant in a way that's going to benefit you and keep you safe so you're not
And
one
your
of the
family.
others. Yeah, and your family
Hmm.
if you have a family. So you're level headed and you're making the right decisions that come easy to you. Don't react when a million other people react because that just creates another herd of panic scared people, and the more people who are loaded with fear, it it's going to take a lot longer to get better than if everybody is straight up here.
And also, too, we're to help our neighbors.
Yes.
And so I've also heard that you should, if you stock up food, stock up your pantry, because this is all stuff you can always turn over. If nothing happens, good, but you can
Yep.
always turn it over. And then if you have extra, then you can help people that you know are your neighbors that have families, so they
Mm-hmm.
don't suffer also. So I think I'm going to be eating a lot of chicken soup. I have a lot of chicken soup.
Beans and rice. That's another one.
Uh,
Beans and rice. Get
yeah, I
used to
have
beans and
chili.
rice.
Things that I don't have to heat up that I could just eat out of a can.
Yeah.
Also, I have a big I don't know if it's 10-gallon water, those things that you turn over and you put in a water
Yep.
thing.
Have you seen
I have
the
that.
emergency food, like the
No, I'm not
MRE
eating that.
emergency?
I'm not
Are
eating
you
those.
well? I
Ugh.
mean,
Nope.
they've
Well, if I was
the ones they
starving.
have
No, have you
now.
seen those?
No,
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 no.
the one, no, no, the stuff they have now is not like the 1940 World War II stuff.
Okay.
It's actually
Mush.
good. Yeah, and
Okay.
they last 20 years. And I have a pantry full of emergency food, and every now and then I'll eat one just to see what they taste like. And like the beefaroni, it's delicious. I mean,
It
it's
is?
yeah, it's
Okay.
not yeah, you're thinking of the old like World War II MRE
No,
cans that
I'm
the
not.
soldiers had to. So yeah, no, those they've the technology and the food science and stuff into it has come a long way. There's a much larger variety to choose from. There's more
Yeah.
companies that
Yeah.
offer these types of products. And I mean, hey, let's face it, when it comes down to it, if you're starving, I mean, the literal sense, not,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm starving, I
Yeah.
need to eat. No, if you're starving, you
Yeah.
will eat a can of peas and green beans and lick the can dry. That's how hungry you'd
Yeah.
be. I mean,
Yeah.
because it's that or
Well,
die.
luckily what this man saw was only 3 days.
Yeah.
So
But
you all can get 3 days of extra food, peanut butter and bread, just crackers, cheese. And I didn't see that our electricity grid would go out, but I'm thinking it may. I don't know. I didn't see that, and he didn't mention that either. He mentioned monetary, all the banks systems go down, all social media go black. So no, he didn't mention the electrical grid or anything like that going down. So,
Corrupt digital files with criminal records on them, all exposed, was
oh
another one.
yes, yes. Yes, yes. And
Yep.
to me, that is so biblical. You guys have to see the signs. That is so biblical that the angels will announce your crimes off the rooftops. You can't hide. All your crimes will be announced off the rooftops. And
Hmm.
yes, yes, I forgot about that. And I thought that is so biblical. So when that happens, y'all need to know you better be
Yeah. So
prepared.
any
So
celebrity,
that's biblical.
politician, any
Yeah.
foreign prime minister, if you want the Epstein tapes, you're going to get those and probably 10 million more of encrypted, coded stuff that would just be unlocked for everybody to view and see. So there's no
So
hiding who did what anymore.
yeah. Did he say that when it comes back on, that's going to be on there?
He said all
I can't
crimes of
remember.
all the leadership and throughout the world is
Oh,
going to be exposed.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes. And so we'll post both those NDEs, and I just really want you to listen to all of it carefully because you can miss some very important information because I do feel that this is a validation for me because I've seen it for a while.
agreed.
So,
And I would even put a footnote and say this is not the only prophetic kind of thing that we're seeing. For those who read the Bible for what it is, whether you're religious or not,
yeah.
regardless of faith, you are seeing some of those prophecies come to fruition in real life now. And
Hmm.
a lot of people dismiss it. Oh, that's a coincidence. Oh, that's just it's stage, or no, it doesn't mean that. That's not what it meant. It's like if you read it and you adhere to it, and that's part of your faith, you really need to put your eyes and ears to it, listen and watch, because I am noticing some of the prophetic things come to fruition. I'm like, it's just a matter of time until they all come out and it all happens,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that activation will happen. And it's
Yeah.
again, this is not a moment of get with it, get on your knees and pray. People, don't be scared.
Yeah. No.
We are just we're we compare our notes and we share them with you. If it resonates,
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
If not, we understand.
Yes. And these NDEs, they do leave a timeline, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that it's going to be that timeline. Um,
Right.
I guess I did. My twin told me that I did talk about a timeline years ago, and it matches. We thought it was last year that that was going to
Mm-hmm.
happen, and he's thinking maybe it's this year, coming up year, that it's going to happen. We were just
Yeah.
off a year, and so I went, oh, okay. So I just, it's always good to be prepared.
It's good to be prepared and not really pay attention to the calendar and be scared, because I think the calendar more or less is a generalized measurement for us humans in the third dimension to kind of understand that the window of time is near, but not necessarily the day of the week, the month, the year is going to be exact.
Hmm.
It never really is with things like that.
It's always
But
fluid.
it's fluid. There's a
Time is
window of
fluid.
time, and it's
Hmm.
just good to pay attention to and stay. Don't get stuck in your head. Learn how to control it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I think when we're talking about portals, vortexes, and stargates, and like, um, I was very affected by the Charlie Kirk death.
Mm-hmm.
And when he died, it was like a portal hit the world. And
Mm-hmm.
you saw people going to church. I mean, the churches. were baptizing hundreds of people. I watched a video of this couple that wasn't living in backwoods, and they said, "What is all this traffic?" And he goes, "I think they're going to our church." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, for all my life I've gone to this church and I've never had a full parking lot." And they couldn't even get into the parking lot. They were waiting.
Yeah.
And so that to me, and we'll talk about at the end about spiritual portals. That was a spiritual
Hmm.
portal that opened up to the world and it affected a lot of people. And it did affect me. In fact, two of my books, I think, came right as I was
Yes.
in that energy of portal. My last one's
Activated you.
coming.
It
Yeah.
activated
And
you.
I wrote them. I mean, I was like insane.
Oh,
And
let me
my
tell y'all, for y'all listening and watching, when I say she wrote, I'm not embellishing this. She wrote 3 books in just
a month
under
and a
three
half.
months.
A month and a half.
See, okay, under 3 months. So a month and a half, under two
Yeah.
months,
Yeah.
3 books.
Yeah.
And she did a presentation on one of the groups I
Two.
organize for
Yeah.
2 of those books. And then she was wrapping up the third. And I'm like, what are you plugged into? What are you like? There's some battery pack, behind your head that we need to.
I don't
I was
see.
like,
I don't know.
I know, I don't either.
And you
You
guys, I
text me.
work. I work for a living. So, I mean, it's not like I just sit home all day.
Yeah, she
I
texts
go
me
to
at
work.
4:30 in the morning. Hey, just finished 50,000 words. Check out the new cover. And I'm like, well, of course I'm awake.
No.
And she knows I'm usually awake. I'm like, where are you? Like, I hope
I'm
you're
so
drinking a lot of
excited.
water.
Well, this is the
Yeah.
fourth book. So the first two books were on women, defining women, and the
Hmm.
second or the third book is Adam's Echo, and it is a men's book. And this was to me the most amazing book I think I've ever read. Now, let me tell you something that I have them on Amazon, and I got trolled, and I'm
Yeah.
trolled. So on Amazon, anybody can leave a review. You don't even have to buy the book. You just hit review and you can just do it. So November 1st and 2nd, I had a group of people that decided to take all my books down and give me 1 and 2 star horrible reviews. Horrible reviews. Now my older books can sustain that because they have so many good reviews, but my new book, it tanked it because um you got 3 bad reviews and you have 2 wonderful reviews. So for normal people, I just want you to know, only believe the reviews that say verified purchaser.
Perfect. Yeah.
That means that person actually bought the book, they read it, and they're leaving a review. Now, if it doesn't say purchaser verified, it usually says nothing, then anybody can do this. And it's taking Amazon a long time to get these off of there. They hit my Goodreads the same day. They hit Amazon the same day. They actually hit my YouTube channel the same day. And because I have on my comment section, I have a swear, um, what do you
You have a
call it?
profanity filter.
Filter that it wouldn't post them, but it kept showing me
Hmm.
this blue light on my comments. I thought, what is that? So when I opened it up, they had so much swearing at me um, with all these comments. And actually,
Yeah.
even on my Etsy store, they left me a very horrible comment of how to take my own life, that I should leave
Yeah.
this world. And I mean, it's just horrible. These people are horrible. So, and then I thought, why is this happening to me? And I actually had a dream that I felt that this is a little bit of what, um, to be honest with you, Charlie Kirk had. He had so much hate coming
Oh,
at him. He had so much hate
everywhere he went.
that yeah, and he kept going and he blocked it and he understood the hate and he worked with the hate and he loved the people that hated him. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna not respond to this stuff and I'm just gonna pray for them
Hmm.
because
Because behind that hate is and fear is those trolls and anybody who understands the business of publishing and stuff through Amazon. If you look at the history of her books, the reviews, and all of a sudden you see two ugly comments, and they don't even make any sense about the book
yeah,
because they're
yeah.
not even about the book. That you can
No.
spot you can spot trolling when you see trolling. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the hate, the immediate response reaction was hatred for whatever their reason is. But the example Robin was given about how Charlie Kirk took hate everywhere he went. Look at the good that came out of it. Look at the good of the hate
Hmm.
that Martin Luther King got. He got
Yes.
hate.
Well,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
Abraham
Even
Lincoln got
Jesus.
hate. Christ
Jesus,
got
yeah.
hate. And
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't win. It does not win.
No.
You
No.
know.
And the people that, and I'm not saying I'm anybody, but the people that get the most hate are the people pushing the agenda forward, the correct agenda forward, the benevolent agenda forward,
Mm-hmm.
that they are spending their lives pushing it forward against all odds because they have a vision, because they have a calling and a drive. And it's something that you just have to do. You just have to do it.
And they
So,
project what they are fearing and don't have that you have, which is in this case the drive and the motivation and the work and the diligence to get those messages out because they'd rather see you fall so they can win and talk smack. That's
yeah,
that's the end goal, and it's pretty sad
yeah,
because if they don't learn to love and work
yeah.
on themselves, they're not going to live a fulfilling life.
Well, it was
But
shocking.
I
I don't think I've ever met any people like that in my whole life. And so I
yeah.
was, what's going on?
And just
So,
so y'all know,
Brad,
I know
oh,
Robin. Robin is very uh she was very level-headed and calm through it, a little venting, which is normal, but she didn't panic, she didn't freak, she wasn't a crying mess, she didn't let the emotions hit her in a bad way to slow her down. She just kept doing it and kept writing and wrote the other book and then another book, a fourth book. And
I
it's
just
like,
finished,
oh,
I finished my
that
last one. Yeah.
that's how you have to attack it. Robin's a perfect
Yeah.
example as a good approach on how to respond to trolling and hate.
Yep. Yep. And follow your dreams and follow your visions and just keep going. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's all you can do.
Yeah.
So, Brad,
Mm-hmm.
can we open the podcast?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
Let's do
yeah, we
it.
had to give our
So,
lesson of morality there. It was
yes,
we just wanted to
yes.
give our a little rant. Hopefully, we didn't bore you,
No,
but
and
it
if you
meant
guys
something.
have
There's a
any,
message there.
yes, if you have any comments or thoughts, put them below. We read them, and we're glad you're here. And we usually don't start off with personal stuff, but I thought some of this was very important for us to talk about and to have you be aware of.
It all
And
ties together.
yeah, it will. And so let me, Brad, let me just go through really quick,
Okay.
and I want to just define a portal, vortex, and Stargate. I know what
Okay.
everybody knows what they are, but let's just quickly define that. So the portal is a doorway or an entrance, and a vortex is a mass of whirling fluid or air whirlpool. And then the Stargate is a ring-shaped device built by ancient intergalactic beings, um, and it also can create a wormhole. So they said that the Stargate can also create a wormhole. So those are just kind of the basics. Go ahead.
Do wormholes uh, and based on Einstein's Rosenbridge theory, don't they exist in space naturally, or are
Yes,
they
yes.
created by intelligences to be a wormhole?
I think it could go both ways. And
Hmm.
they're saying that wormholes are very, well, to me, a wormhole is like those near-death experiences when people die, you're going through this tunnel, they call it a tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
and lights are going zipping by you, stars or whatever zipping by you. To me, that's a wormhole. Your soul is traveling back. And they also talked about wormholes as being very delicate and that they can collapse, like the ones in space that NASA has been watching, that they can just collapse. And so if they stay open long amounts of time, they're thinking that it might be something interdimensional to keep that
Hmm.
wormhole open because they're very delicate, they said.
Yeah, I believe some of the research, and I got to tell you, there seems to be a running theme here. What's the gentleman's name? The last two books on some of the Mike Ricksecker. Is that the guy whose books we've read before? And
Oh, yeah. I
he
don't.
there's nothing that Mike Ricksecker does not research. And I actually
Yeah.
went off of some of his research, and I'll credit that in the comments too. He wrote a book last year about wormholes and stargates, uh, Atlantis, etc., all that relating.
Okay.
And yeah, he said that the stargates are, which one is temporary? You said they're sensitive. They're unpredictable in a
The
sense where
wormhole.
you don't, there you go. You don't know when they're going to close. You don't know when they're going
Hmm.
to open. And
Hmm.
hell,
They
you
can
don't even know where they
collapse.
go. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
So I just thought, a lot of the near-death experiences you see, they go through like a wormhole when their spirit leaves
Hmm.
and they come back. So they talk about it as a tunnel. So,
Hmm.
which that could be the same kind of thing, maybe.
It is. It is to another dimension.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very interesting because we've talked about before the soul being tethered. And so like
Yes.
when you die, it's like, how's your soul know where to go? Are we gonna go over here? We're gonna go over here. Do we want to go there? Or and you really don't have a say. You just are pulled. And I think that's your tethering. Someone up in the heavenly realms is bringing you home. They're taking your tether in. And I do believe through
Hmm.
some of my channeling is you're not alone. There are special angels and archangels that are guides. So your guides go with you and I don't know if people see them or if it's just an energy that guides you home. So you know, they're probably activating that tunnel and guiding you home. Because I felt that I did a book it was a Archangels book, and I channeled
Hmm.
archangels. And there's a couple archangels on death that they stay with you until you leave your body. And I guess it's quite the complicated thing to remove the soul from the body. I
Oh,
know there's accidents that bounce, your soul out of your body, but they said that it's a complicated thing to put the soul into the hard matter and then to bring it out. And it takes activation, it takes codes and sequences, and then they lead you home. They said they have to, your soul is always protected from the transferring from Earth to your eternal realm because there's outside influences that are malevolent that would like to take that soul and bring it
yes.
to their side or to use it. So there's a lot of soul casting. So at least what I channeled, the archangels that would, as Azrael was one of the archangels that would protect you in death, that he removed your soul and he took you home. And so there's angels, like you probably don't see it in the wormhole when you're in that cave, but I'm sure there's
Right.
angels flying through, warrior angels to protect your soul until it arrives safely to where its
Yeah. That
destination needs to go.
that's a very that is probably the most paramount and most important aspect of your essence and being is your soul, um,
Yes. Carries everything.
because it carries everything, and it needs to be transported, and there are
Yes.
angels and special assigned entities that whose task is that and that only. I did a
Yeah.
presentation on uh, angels and UFOs and religious art. And when I did a section on angels, there were so many different sculptures and paintings of angels taking, like,
Hmm.
the fallen soldiers, picking them up and taking them
Yeah.
home, so to speak.
Yeah.
Valkyries pick
Yeah.
up the
Yep.
fallen and they take them back
Yep.
to Valhalla, back to their
Hmm.
version of heaven. So
Hmm.
each culture has a set of angel like figures that do that. So, yeah, you are
Yeah.
going through a wormhole, so to speak, as you're going back to whence you came.
And you're very protected. And I don't think a lot of people
Very.
know that you are protected coming down and you're protected going home. And
Hmm.
and I think people might have a couple questions of people that don't go, that stay earthbound.
Mm.
And so that's maybe a show we could do someday
Yeah.
is Earthbound Souls. And I know
Like
this
stuck in Earth,
might
you
say
mean?
in interdimensions or they choose to
Gotcha.
stay here. And that's oh, well, we're going to cover that in that book that I sent you, Return
Hmm.
to
We are.
Tomorrow or
Yep.
yeah. And so that actually will cover it talks about the souls that stay. And I know people that have had NDEs and then they rise outside the earth element into the atmosphere and they look back down and they see all this darkness. And they say, "What is
Hmm.
that?" And they say, "Those are the souls that are not leaving, that they are bad souls and they continue doing their own carnage." So it's another dimension of our universe that is really close to the earth. So we can talk about that more on that next show.
Yeah. That's going to be a good
And
story too.
that's a December, yeah. So do you want to put any slides up? So
Sure.
NASA has they have I believe our government has where they can find portals, even on Earth and above Earth.
Hmm.
And so it's how do you say that? Magnetospheric portals?
Magnetis, yeah, magnetosphere, which is
Yeah,
the
that's not it.
electromagnetic frequency. This is, I know I was going to ask you which
Yeah. No,
slide.
keep going. Next
Which one
one.
is it? Is it the,
Um, Go to the one that shows the Earth with all this blue stuff coming off of
got it.
it. That one. So I think this is what NASA is seeing that they're watching is this spheric action. And it's in the Earth's magnetic field and it meets a solar wind. So they're kind of calling these portals. And so
Hmm.
this is something that's off of NASA's website. Um, and they talk about a shortcut. So basically these portals are unknown, but I do believe our military and our government know how to find portals that because they're
Yes,
energy and they can find them when they open up on the earth. Let me tell you a quick story of a guy that was a
please.
Bigfoot hunter, and I met him and I did some channeling for him, and he showed me things that he didn't show on his show. And he said he was at 5 o'clock and he would run up the mountains. It was in Colorado. And he would run up the mountains. That's he just was an exercise freak and he would videotape everything. So he's on the top of this mountain like at 5 a.m. It's freezing cold. And this guy just walks up on him, dressed in streetwear, leather jacket, and he's on top of a mountain. And he goes, "Where'd you come from?" And he kind of got scared because he goes, "How did this guy that has no hiking gear, he had regular shoes on, there's no roads, how did he get on top of this mountain?" It took me a treacherous run to get up here. And as we were talking about it, I felt they sensed him on the mountain and he came out of some sort of portal. Um, and because he wanted to talk to him. And this guy that this Bigfoot guy goes, "Nope, I'm packing. So I'm on my way. I don't want to talk to you. I don't know who you are. How'd you got up here?" So I'm out. And he goes, "It was the strangest experience because this guy was like, he walked off the street and he's on top of a mountain and he shouldn't have been." So there's lots of
That
portals,
that is talk about surreal, random, and out of place. All
of course.
three.
Yes.
Your
Yeah.
your
And
friend he's all geared up, hiking, running, he's fit, he's doing his thing. So at the top of the mountain, he looks like he belongs there because you could clearly tell with his gear and stuff, and he obviously
yeah.
would traverse the mountain. And then there's
Yeah.
some dude in jeans, a pair of Chuck Taylors, and a leather jacket,
and a leather jacket,
who
just
yeah,
walking
who looks like
around.
it was who looks like he just got out of, work or something, or
Yeah.
just randomly there. It's
Yeah.
like,
He goes, "Where
what?
did he come from?" And he wanted to talk to me. I wouldn't let him talk to me. I wouldn't go with him because he said that there's a couple guys that were missing up there and all of their
Mm,
gear and stuff was there. And he actually took pictures of all their gear. And he says, and he actually was trying to find them. He spent a week trying to find these guys in the mountains because he knew them really well. And then here this normal guy is walking around and he goes, "Nope, I'm out of here. I'm packing, leave me alone." He did take a picture of him. He was like, it kind of was like a Hispanic guy, very well dressed. His co hair was combed back, not disheveled at all.
not
And
sweaty or panting
nothing,
for breath.
nothing. And it was so cold. Yeah. And he said nothing. So he says, "Nope. I don't know who
Yeah,
you
that
are or what
that
you
is a
are."
big red flag.
Yep.
Mm,
So this is what NASA is saying that a lot of our portals, our stargates are kind of coming from. I believe that's the sun on one end of the
hmm.
spectrum. And also, I thought it was very interesting, and I found this a while ago that the government, NASA, is calling the portals X points. And if you're a Sasquatcher, you know that when you go into the woods, you see big X's and upside down trees that create X's. You see X's up in, I think I have an X picture of tree. There you go. And I think this is Colorado Bigfoot's picture. And that's not normal. And that's hard to
No,
do. And
yeah,
no human with their hands and feet, could probably lift those and put them up
it
like
would
that.
take 20 lumberjacks to do that, even if
Yeah,
they could.
yeah.
Even if they could.
So
That's a sign.
I,
That's a sign.
yeah.
If I'm hiking or mountain biking or whatever, and I pull up on that, I'm like, whoa, okay, that
And
that
some of
that
those
doesn't
X's
happen.
are up in the trees. I mean, it's like way up high. And
Hmm.
how did that get lodged up there? And so I thought it was very interesting that NASA calls the magnetic field known as X points, that they are portals. And so they named them that way. So many Sasquatchers don't know exactly the meaning of why Sasquatch does that. And I go, well, maybe that's where their portal is. That's where they know where to go, or they're signing when other Sasquatches come through that this has been a portal area. So be careful because you might be walking into another dimension. You don't know.
Do
But I
you
thought
do
that was
you
very
think it's
interesting.
it's probably part that, or do you think it's also a warning sign?
Um, or it could be like, we're here. This is our tribe. You could be a little bit of a warning because a lot of
Watch
the
where you step.
Sasquatches at,
Yeah.
yeah, at least for Colorado Bigfoot, um, you could tell they have babies, there's babies and things like that. And he's funny that I sent him a special crystal because he had a place that he would put stuff on, and people would send him stuff and put it on this rock. And he said that crystal, everything was taken off the rock except my crystal. It stayed on the rock.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a Lemurian crystal. It was actually kind of expensive, but I wanted to see what the Sasquatch would do with it. But they kept it there. They didn't take it. So,
Hmm. They
so
have their
like the next,
own intelligence.
yeah, or they just, you know, thought, no, that's something we shouldn't take. So then I think the picture of, let's see.
Yeah, you got some good visuals in
Oh,
here.
the badge one. There's one that looks like a badge. In 2016, they had a first connection to measuring interplanetary shock waves from the sun, creating a portal-like atmosphere. So they created this. NASA created this as they are see all those little shippy those satellite things? They are
Hmm.
out there measuring energy and shifts and like portals. That's exactly what those are for, is to start measuring all the movement out in space in our atmosphere. So, and they say it's created by the sun. I'm not sure if I believe that or if they're really just
What's created by the sun?
the portals,
Um,
the atmospheric. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I beg to differ on that because, well,
Yeah,
one, NASA's not going to ever tell you or us.
of
They're
course.
not going to disclose that. And for
Yeah,
those of you who don't know, there's over 2,000 plus satellites and objects that are orbiting Earth from
yeah.
all countries, space agencies, and stuff that are measuring all kinds of things that we don't know about. Of course, the obvious stuff, communication satellites and things like that. But there are
Yeah.
experiments like this patch uh, that that are going on, and probably then some that you just don't know
Hmm.
about. And
Yeah.
it's
Did you
funny.
ever know about this? Yeah.
No, I didn't know about the magnetospheric, trying to create a portal above the atmosphere of Earth. I'm not surprised because I believe that they dock and connect with the space station. Um, there's all kinds of NHI crafts and intelligences that come and go
Hmm.
across the Earth's atmosphere all the time. You can see that on regular telescopes, let alone these. Um, but create a portal, undoubtedly, I have no doubt in my mind that they have created a portal. I have seen,
Oh,
and
I'm
I
sure.
can, I have seen a video, and I'm not going to give details of where, who, what, when, why, but they did a very small controlled experiment where they created a portal in a laboratory setting. Um,
Oh, really?
yes, it was a small one, but the fact is, back to your point, is it can be created and made. It's not just
Of
something
course.
of nature or that occurs naturally in space. So if you can get the energies and the speeds right and the electromagnetic
Yep.
frequencies right, you can
Hmm.
create a portal. Where?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't think they know where it goes, but you can create one. And is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Look at what they're doing at CERN. We're all aware of what
Of
CERN
course.
is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that is a very, very big magnetic collider where they spin subatomic
Yeah.
particles and stuff at whatever speed of near
Yeah.
the speed of light. And when they create these collisions, they're looking for the right ones because some of the right ones do open things.
Yeah.
And why else would you create something as massive as CERN just to smash particles? It does. I mean, yeah, you want to read dating. I get that, but there's other objectives and things you can do with something that large and powerful. And there is a former physicist who worked there, a woman, I forgot her name. She went on the record and said she's seen a portal created and something come through it, and they had
Oh,
to close it and push it back in so it wouldn't come in to stay. What it was, she didn't elaborate,
yeah.
but it it caused panic. But
Some of the weird
you,
things that people see out in the
mhm,
woods that aren't human,
mhm.
you might have come through some of the portals that we play around with that shouldn't be coming through.
We play around with, or the ones that are naturally occurring that
True.
that just happen. I mean,
And I,
which is I
true.
keep getting mixed up with the terms. So portals are natural, wormholes can be natural as well, but stargates are the
Yes.
ones that are created and controlled by some form of
Yes.
intelligence. Got it.
Yes. They're usually like round and have alien writing or script or numbers or codes or
Hmm.
sequence. And then you have a type of energy like water effect in the center. Correct. Yeah.
It
So
looks
also
like
too,
they
I do
say it looks
believe
like water. It looks like water, but it's not water though.
It's energy. Yeah. I
It's distorted
I've
space.
done yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And you have another one you
So,
want to bring up?
well, let's go into the Stargates now because I found there's many Stargates on the United States and abroad. And then at the end, I did a little channeling on Stargates. So I can give you some information from channeling point of view. So these are kind of a spiritual Stargate. These are
Hmm.
on the Earth, and this is a Stargate in Giza. It's the closest I could find to it.
Of what it might look
And
like, yeah.
yeah, they say there are frequencies on this Earth, and they're magnetic and an energy grid. And I've talked a long time about energy grids and things that
Hmm.
are woven. And I've talked about time travasement and
Yep.
how the alien species can like divide things in a line. And here will be one time, they'll and then they have manipulated it. So right next to this timeline, there's another time. So they can
Yep.
like chop up our atmosphere and do different time codes. And I think that's how they create portals too, is that's how they access it through time travasement also. So
Yeah.
Giza is a high frequency on this Earth that's
Very.
magnetic and an energy grid. That's what they said.
Hmm.
What do you think?
I think Giza is probably one of the most powerful ones, and that's one of the speaking of magnetic frequencies. A lot of these large structures, these megalithic structures, are built on magnetic ley lines on
Of
purpose
course.
because of the Earth's magnetic energy that it harnesses to use to do things to create power, uh, stargates,
Just
even
energy,
some of the energy in general, the
communication.
hieroglyphic, the walls all over Egypt, the hieroglyphs have been translated in theory, of course, because we don't know what they all mean. It's a dead
Yeah.
language, so to speak. But a lot of that language of the hieroglyphs depict serpents and oval-like things representing dimensional portals of you'll see pictures of Egyptians coming through, some coming out, some have doors, some of them have like a little stairway, and then there's a door that they all go
Hmm.
through. There's they're
Hmm.
all over the walls and all of the structures in Egypt
And they
that
they believed
represent
in
that.
multi dimensions. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They believed in
Yeah.
all different levels. So, and where did that come from? Didn't just think of that. Something was taught, came
No,
down
they
and
didn't think
taught
of
them
that.
that. Yeah.
Somebody taught them that. Absolutely. And they knew how, in my opinion, from what I've studied and what I've researched and kind of my own little theorizing, is whoever taught them that and whoever assisted in building these structures also
Mhm.
taught them the ways of accessing that when they want to. Hey, you want to come
Yes,
over
it's
here or you want us to come back?
ceremonial.
This is the ritual and ceremony you need to do
Yes.
to call us back, and we'll come back. That goes back
Or
to ritual magic, and that's a lot of how a lot of these things are accessed is through ancient ritual magic that has lived through the eons,
time
and people who understand it and study and know it and know how to
through
do it
us.
are able to do
Yeah.
this.
And astronomy, and you got the solstices and all of that is all
Mm-hmm.
comes together. Um, and then one day we'll talk about ancient Peru. I'm very much into ancient Peru. And so we'll talk about that because I actually am working on a second Oracle card set.
Oh, there you go.
I
See, why am I not surprised? I'm
So
not
the second
surprised.
Oracle cards is going to be about ancient Peru, and I've gotten a lot of information. So when I have Oracle cards that are going to probably come out in January, they're being shipped from China right now, and they're all channeled. And so this all of this channeling will happen from ancient Peru, and I got so much information, which will be in the Oracle cards. So
I want to
that's
make a
another
good point
story.
on that. Those just really quick, those oracle cards, there's a long story behind it, but know that they're not your, I don't know how other oracle cards are made or the process, but
Yeah, I
these
don't know.
aren't just a creative process project. They're a creative process project from channeled communication. So that
Yes.
really puts the emphasis and perspective on these cards and the messages and how they're used and how the readings go is going to
Hmm.
be, in my opinion, a much higher perspective and a stronger message because it's not
There'll be a
just
lot of energy from the cards.
a lot of energy in those cards
Yeah.
because of the channeling that it took to get that to design. That could be another episode, but yeah,
Okay.
that's
So what's the next
go ahead.
picture? What's the next one you got?
The next Stargate that we have
Yeah.
is this one.
Oh, well, Machu Picchu. That's Machu Picchu right there.
Yep.
So, Machu Picchu, let me go with what they said, the Stargate. Now, actually, this could have actually been there at one time. There is a sun room in Machu Picchu, and there's like a rock that's I think it's a dome. And then there's three windows, and it's carved just at the right place where the sun comes in and hits that stone. So this is kind of like what they thought might have been there at one time that's no longer there. It's ancient Inca powerful ascension mode, and it resonates with solar and cosmic downloads. So the reason they were so high up probably wasn't because they were trying to get away from wars, even though there was a lot of warring going on at that time,
Mm-hmm.
that they were agricultural and they were spiritual. And the higher they went up, at least in the cards that I did, they had lots of visitors. They had lots of different species coming down and showing them how to live, how to eat, how to do agriculture, how to make clothes, and how to stay warm, and how to be spiritual. And so I think this group of people that lived at this time here were very ascended. They were shamans and
Yes.
they were extended teachers, and they walked and talked with a lot of the those from other dimensions that
Even
even
still
maybe wanted
today.
to meet them. Yeah. And so lots of activity there, a lot of spiritualism there. So they weren't just
And you
dumb people, short
no,
little dumb people.
no.
You just the people that you see now are offspring of them, but the people that are living now don't have the type of spiritualism and elevation that these people had.
No, and that's a good point. And there are within the culture of Peru, and Timothy Alberino talks about this a lot. He goes there a lot for retreats and ventures and stuff.
One day we're going to be
They,
hiking up there, Brad.
yeah, one day. That's
One
right.
day.
And they still do, you hear about the plant medicine retreats that they do there. A lot of people from around the world go to Peru to experience these shamanic journeys and these vision
Hmm.
quests and these spiritual
Yeah.
awakenings because it's still one of the most sacred places on earth to do it and
Yes.
where a lot of this activity is strong. And that lineage, the true shamans, these people have been carrying the tradition for a long time and it doesn't
Hmm.
change. It stays the
Yeah.
same way it always did.
And did you know that in more modern times, from not here, but a little bit more modern, from like the 1900s on, that they said there's some explorers that wrote that they found these people, because some people were still living there and being farmers, that the shaman is the only one that could take hallucinogenic medicine,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would have like church,
Yeah.
and then the shaman would be high and getting his words, and then he would tell them what they needed to do to be successful for winter, successful for spring, in their endeavors and in
They
farming and
served as
their
the
lives.
conduit. The
Yeah.
plant
And they were
medicine
the
served as the
only
key,
one. Yeah.
and they were
Yeah.
the ones who knew how
For the
to
vision
make it.
quest.
Yes, and
Yeah.
now they take people who are on a journey that are willing to go and try it, do it. And I've known a few people who've gone to Peru and do it, and they say that you don't just stand in line and get your cup of tea and swig it and trip out. It is it
Ceremony.
is a ritualistic ceremony,
Yeah.
and it's not something that you do on the weekend for fun. And shamans will go around and they are able to read your energy, and they'll say, "You're not
Yeah.
ready yet. Tomorrow."
Yeah.
And then they'll
Yeah.
do some purging ceremony, and then they'll say, "Okay, now you're ready." So it's not taken lightly at all, and they don't
No,
just let anybody in.
yeah, it's a spiritual act. It's not for fun
Mm-hmm.
and games. Because if you do it incorrect, I'm sure there's some forces that might be able to you might get a hitchhiker on you, but
Yep, you
it
might
has
open
to
the wrong
be,
door to
yeah,
the wrong
yeah.
dimension.
And so that they're very cautious about that. So I thought this is the most beautiful picture ever. In fact, I might have to put
Yeah.
that on my cards. That would be a good cover, don't you think?
I think it'd be a great cover. I mean, just imagine
Ooh.
walking up a hill and mountain and hiking and you see that. I wouldn't even know what
Yeah, that it's no longer
I don't even know what
there,
to think.
but
No,
yeah,
it's
but I'm
not.
sure.
But there are some half ruins, half what they
Yes.
believe were former Stargates and
Hmm.
portals that were made many years ago, and you can see the construction of them, and how over time they deteriorated. There were arcs and arches and circles and stuff, and of course,
Yes.
archaeologists
And
will
I
say
want you to
no, that's
know,
just whatever.
yeah, I want you to know also that not everything wasn't just stone, that these people had gold, huge amount of gold.
A
And someone,
lot.
yeah, someone taught them how to adorn themselves in gold. I'm sure they had a lot of their rituals were with gold. A lot of the buildings, I'm sure, had gold on it because when this was it the Spaniards that came in and they just killed all the people so they could have the gold. So
And there's
bad history.
supposedly a lot hidden somewhere.
Yes, actually, under they think there's some under Machu Picchu and a lot of the
Hmm.
temples in
Hmm.
Peru, in I can't remember the names, but and the people will not allow them to excavate it. They keep
No,
it because it's
for good
sacred.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they keep it, but there's a lot of, yeah,
And
there's probably a lot more.
the gold is not for adornment. The gold serves a
It's ceremonial.
purpose.
Yeah.
But it has to be gold. It's not this
Yes.
gold plated stuff. It's gold. Gold
It's
there's
the
a reason
purest
why it's
form
gold.
of gold.
Yep.
And I do believe too that they probably gifted it to a lot of species and the species would gift them,
Hmm.
maybe foods or plants or animals. Who's to say the llamas didn't come from, another arena,
Yeah. No,
you know.
you're right.
Now I'm
That
really going out there, but.
Hey,
So
you never
anyway,
know.
what's the next one, Brad?
The next photo that we have, you
Yeah,
want another Stargate? Let's see.
I have
You
about six of
have,
them.
yeah, you've got
Oh, this
this
one's
one, which is Arizona.
yeah, someone took this. It came off, let me find it. It came off UFO and they post where people send stuff in. And so I don't know if that's manipulated or what. It kind of looks manipulated, but who knows? And they talk about the ancient ruins and sacred sites in Arizona in the southwest ties. And they talk about the inner earth and the Hopi prophecy. Now, my cards that are coming, we talk about the Hopi prophecy and the blue
Hmm.
star. And and it's a real thing. And the Hopis is a real thing. And when the blue star comes back, that's a real thing. You better if you see a blue star in the sky, and they just actually had a white buffalo be born just recently too.
Hmm.
So I can't Missouri, I can't remember where that was,
And a
but
red cow.
oh, the heifers.
Hmm.
Those are very Jewish. The Jewish people like the heifers for
It's still a prophecy.
sacrifice. Yeah, it is. And so I thought, and one day I'd like to go to Sedona and hang out for a week and just go to the energy portals. There is a man there. He's a shaman, and he takes you, just you and him, and he lays you down on this portal, this rock. And I was watching this girl just went, and he lays you down and he does a ceremonial thing over top of you with chanting and the feather and she just started convulsing and and there it's kind of scary. But when he talked to her after, she was feeling the energy from the portal, the rock where she was laying, coming up and pulsing through her body and cleansing it out. And
That's not the first time I've heard something like that.
oh yeah. Well, he takes people there for that purpose
It's quite
to
common. Yeah.
yeah. And so there's just so much in Sedona, and I'm sure you know maybe more places. Brad had an experience where they did a CE5 in where
Yeah.
was that?
Ashford, Arizona. It's
And you
about
had lots of orb
oh
activity.
God, yeah. It was on sacred land. And it
Ah,
was the land was treated and cleansed by a shaman. So it was prepared properly. So we just didn't go on somebody's land or in any field anywhere.
cool.
Um, we wanted any bad elements out, and it's a very spiritual land, and so a lot of us we'd bring it wasn't uncommon for elemental spirits to make themselves known. So to stay in their good graces, we brought the elementals gifts. I brought a couple apples
Oh,
for
okay.
them, and we put it in a certain
Okay.
spot. Um, and people brought, food and figs and stuff for them, just respect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're a guest on their land. You bring them some good stuff. Maybe they'll like you a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So we get there, and once the sun set and we went through the protocol and we meditated, all you had to do was look up in any direction you were at. And we already knew, just so you know, we know where the flight path to this airport was, and it wasn't a major metropolitan airport, it was some little like local airport. It was way due east on the other side, so you could see aircraft coming and going maybe once every 30 minutes, and they were small little planes. So we were
Okay.
way far away from the airport, and you can tell aircraft because of the lighting on it. We weren't anywhere near that, and all you had to do, I saw green ones, orange ones. One came,
Wow.
I went down on the other side of a tree line, and I just talked to myself. I was like, just show me something. One just came right by me in white, little white one. And then it just swelled up into this, like,
It
like the New
fired
Year's
up.
ball that drops,
They
how
fire
it's,
up. Yep.
yeah, they fires up, and he just
Yep.
swelled up super bright white. And then he went
Yeah.
back down and just
Yep.
took off. I was like, that,
Yep.
I said, that one was for me. I know that
It was
one was
saying
for
hi.
me.
Yeah.
He was saying
Yeah.
hi, but they were this. I mean, it looked like a petri dish of craft in the sky everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could just feel the energy. Everybody was hyped, even when we got there. And that's the point. We get there early, we socialize, we get in a good mood, and then we start the process. And the owner of the land and her son said, "Yeah, there hasn't been a time that we don't come out here on our own where we don't see anything." So he
Oh, wow.
basically they were saying, "We
Very
are pretty
active
much
spot.
guaranteeing you're going to see something." Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of
That's
fun.
great. Yeah. Next year, I'll go.
Next year, and then where we're staying, where we stayed, which is an hour from there, is in Prescott. Um, Sedona is only about an hour and 20-minute drive.
I know. I have to get to Sedona.
Let's go to
Yep.
Sedona.
Okay. What's the next one, Brad?
Portal or the next CE5?
No. The Stargate.
The next Stargate that you have on here is you have Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, okay. So that's Florida. Um, so they are saying Stargate Atlantis is by Sarasota, Florida. It's like aquatic energy, and it's on a ley line of aquatic, and they feel it's a has Atlantean memory field around that Stargate.
Oh, makes sense.
And yeah, and also to tell you that I've had lots of channeling visions of a Stargate in Florida where our military and um, presidency have visited. It's underground facility, and they have an actual Stargate there in
Oh, I'm sure
Florida.
they have. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Uh,
sure a lot of places do, but I that's the one I actually have seen, and it's huge. I mean, it's huge. And it's underground, and they have visitors come through, and they
do we
delegate.
go? Do we ever go through to them?
No, well, it's government. What do you
Well,
mean
I mean,
we?
like
Human?
we as in like yeah, U.S.
No,
personnel go
no.
through?
They
No.
can no, it's kind of a one way. I think well, at least what I saw is they come in council and
Hmm.
negotiate. And they're
And
saying,
then they go
"Hey,
back.
yeah." Then they go back. They say, "Hey, you got too many nuclear bombs, man. Get them
Yeah,
gone."
you got
Or
you
they
got
do
to slow down. Yeah.
and I don't know if they're malevolent or benevolent. I didn't see that. Well, I saw a little bit of the benevolent side, but I think some of the negotiations could be with the malevolent, like Dracos, reptilians, and
Hmm.
I think that's where they negotiate for trade, where
Tech.
you give us information,
Hmm.
we and what can you do for us, and we will allow you to have this or do
Yeah,
this
there
or
was a on Gaia. I forgot the gentleman's name. He was a really uh, pro remote viewer, one of the good ones. I forgot his name. He remote viewed, and maybe it's the same place. I don't know. A location underground where there was a Stargate that we had taken from Iraq. I'm sure you've heard
oh
that
yeah, and
rumor.
we'll talk about that
Yeah.
at the end.
And they had it, and he was remote viewing, and there was, armed soldiers walking around guarding it, as well as a reptilian supposedly who was walking around doing whatever, and he stopped, the reptilian did, turned around and took a few steps and basically telepathically communicated. He saw the remote viewer, not physically, just
Oh
saw his
yeah.
energy
Yes.
and was
Yep.
like, what the hell do you think you're doing here?
I
You
think
better leave
yeah.
before, yeah, we make your life
Now
hell.
we know who
And
you are.
so
Yeah.
he stopped, and he said that's when he's like, yeah, I gotta give this job up, man. I mean,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
really scaring the hell out of me. And you
Yeah.
have to kind of, I think if you're a remote viewer and you are really that good, you have to almost under probably know that any other interdimensional or ultra terrestrial species that is from a higher dimension is only going to be that much better than you are, and then some. So you're
Yes.
taking a risk when you do that.
Yes. And can I share my Bigfoot portal?
Please.
So
Is
I
it on
told
here?
Brad about I don't think so. I think
Okay.
the next one, did we hit the Bermuda Triangle? So that one. So just to finish off before I give you my story, the Stargate is kind of in the Bermuda Islands, and I've been to one of the islands off of Bermuda, and it was really beautiful. And they say this Stargate fluctuates in dimensional access linked to time and space, and it has distortions. And it works with the energy of the the weather there.
Hmm.
And so, like when you have the storms and things like that, the Stargates activate, gives them more power. And
Funny. It's
Yeah, the
always
Bermuda,
triangles.
yeah, and the Bermuda Triangle. Um, and everybody knows about that, but I think the Stargate is around that area. That's why I pulled that off. So,
Well, there's a lot of stuff that has gone missing in this area.
oh yeah, planes, ships, yeah. And it's a
And
magnetic. There's some,
mhm,
do you think there's something interdimensional there, or do you think it's under the water?
both,
Or both?
both,
Okay.
because there's also, I forgot what it's called, and it's the Japan's version of the Bermuda Triangle. I forgot what they call. I think they call it the Dragon something.
Oh,
It's a
I've heard
triangle
that. Yeah. Yeah.
with off their coast to where they have the same issues and same anomalies that occur here at the Bermuda Triangle. So it's weird that, and we did the Alaskan Triangle. It's funny how
Yeah.
everything is
A
a
pyramid.
triangular.
Mhm.
Yes, it's in triangular
Dimension.
form,
Yeah.
and it's not a circle, it's not a square, it doesn't have four corners. It's always a triangle.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then
Okay.
the one that you had up at the very beginning in Peru about the
This
little
one?
signature. No, the Peru, the land, the ley lines, the Nez, what is it? The
The Nazca
Nazca
lines.
lines. Yeah.
Hmm.
So as I was preparing this popped up to me that because we have also spiritual portals
Hmm.
that we go through. When we are in ascension, we go through an energy grid, which would also you could call a portal. And then all of a sudden, this came up to me, and I thought, what if these were um, portal areas that they had marked um, for certain types of ceremony or because who would have drawn that? You don't think people that could just draw a huge monkey on the land
No,
and you know,
no.
someone from above did all this. And I thought what is really interesting, look at that dog, the Paro dog. What's that thing
The
hanging
pedal.
out his bottom? I mean, he has two
And
tails.
what's his? He's got his legs.
He got his legs there.
Is that
What's
his
that?
tail?
There's his tail, but what's that other thing? What is
It,
that? That
another
poor dog.
another leg, or he's chasing a dog in heat. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, and then how did they get a compass? It's a compass. Who drew a compass in I mean, that compass there, then the astronaut. And I really feel like this is something to do with portals and also where they can, certain species. What do you think,
No,
Brad? That's what I got
undoubtedly,
out of that.
it's almost if you kind of parallel it with these are shapes of animals and things that probably represent something spiritually would be akin to what you see in the UK with crop circles and the geometry in them. There's
Yeah.
there's a reason and a method, form and function, as I always say, as to why you have uh, you have anthropomorphic figures, you have drawings of animals and people and tools like the compass and stuff, and then
Yeah.
in the UK
And
and other places around
insects.
the
Yeah.
world, you have in insects, you have crop circles. So there's a reason why they're designed the way they are. And I think that if I'm going to guess or speculate, it's because they're star people, as they refer to them as, who visit
Yeah.
them. teach them about that. And if you know, a lot of these countries, especially South America, Mexico, even North America, um, they're very the natives. They're very heavy on spirit animals. Everybody has a
Yes.
spirit
Yeah.
animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this could also be a representation or a connection to a spirit animal meaning something. A lot in Asia too. They use animals too for their zodiac, and it represents something spiritually. So, I mean, there's a story, obviously.
Yeah. Behind all that. But I felt that
Mm-hmm.
that
Of
had some sort of energy dynamic
course.
to it, and it might open up a portal around that when they come down. And I just thought, how long have the dogs been on Earth? You're thinking a dog, you think that's more of a modern animal is a dog. I wouldn't think they would be the here in prehistoric unless they're evolving from the wolves or,
Yeah, I was going to say dogs have been around. You like the dire wolves and big dogs and big
well,
cats.
yeah, yeah.
They've been around a while, um,
And I don't think
long
that's a
enough.
compass, to be honest with you. I think that's
You don't
something
think it's a
else.
compass?
Mm-mm. No, I
Yeah, a
think it's
compass
something
usually has
else.
2 points.
Yeah. Kind of looks like
I
a
don't know,
comet or something
a little bit,
with a trail.
or a
Could be
satellite.
it could be Three-Eye Atlas
Sputnik
right there.
could be
Three-Eye
Sputnik. Remember
Atlas.
Sputnik?
Yes, I do.
Look like Sputnik.
So that I think that's and I guess what I want to talk to you about is just that our we have personal portals and we all go through our own portals. And
Mm-hmm.
you go through extension, you know when you've extended. You know when you've walked through
Mm-hmm.
something and you wake up and there's a certain energy with it. And so I just kind of wanted to finish out with there's also spiritual portals that we each have and that are probably assigned to us to say, "Psh, time for Robin to go through this energy grid. Let's give her update, download, and you just have a new awareness. And sometimes when you go through your own portals, you feel unbalanced, you might feel dizzy, you might feel a little unwell
Tired,
and tired. And so just know, just
emotional,
rest. Yeah, and just go with it. And then you will know that you have a new awareness and you see through new eyes. I think that's something that once you have information and you have downloads, you see everything through new eyes.
completely. It's
Yeah.
almost it's eerie to a degree when you how in spirituality, for anybody who's listening and has not gone through anything like this, when they say surrender, they're not meaning give up and become a
No.
slave or a prisoner to whomever. Surrender means to allow the universe to do what the universe is going to do and flow with it. And
Yep, flow with it.
you
Yes.
will feel the energy shifts, like Robin was saying. You're going to wake up out of nowhere and just feel really sad and not having any motivation to do anything. And you're going to be like, why do I feel like this? I got 9 hours of sleep. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to put in words because when you discuss things that are of a higher dimensionality from a higher perspective, there really is no terminology made for this kind of stuff. Like there is for, like,
No.
if you practice medicine or practice law, there's a whole set of terminology for it. But for
Yeah.
this, there isn't.
Yeah.
And when we try to explain and put things into perspective, especially with a lot of the slides we show and the topics we talk about, we're also giving a perspective because it all is when it clicks and you do have an ascension and you do kind of wake up, you realize, oh damn, I that makes sense now. It didn't make sense a year ago, but it makes sense now. Didn't make sense 5 minutes ago, but an hour later you might get it. And when you
Mm-hmm.
do, it becomes easier to tolerate more things in life and flow with it
Yes.
and navigate the world
Yep.
like you're a bird riding the jet stream.
You just
And
have a
you
new load of information. Yep.
a new load of information. Sometimes you technically you, you will, in essence, what we call downloads. You're going to receive them. It may be in the form of my ears would ring a lot, and I don't have tinnitus.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the left ear would ring, the right ear was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of clicking. And then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'd close my eyes just to take a nap. Not even 10 seconds, I saw gold symbols. I couldn't tell you what they were. Flash
Really?
like a little real. Oh, yeah, a couple times. It just
Wow.
flashed like right across.
Wow.
And I thought, I was like, oh, I'm tripping out. I'm having a cool dream. But then it stopped. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, exhaustion, loss of motivation, but an uncanny. I've always had a high level of curiosity, but an uncanny level of curiosity now,
Yeah.
to where I can't stop almost. And I can read people pretty much in a matter of 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even need to say anything, and I can see through you, and not bad or good, just I can read you. I can read
Size
a
them
room
up.
of people. Yeah, just to understand who I'm in front of. That's all. It's just
Yeah.
it's not to necessarily go to battle. It's just who am I in front of? Am I in a room full of good energy or bad? Is this gonna cause me stress? I could tell in a matter of a minute, and then I'll go somewhere else where I don't want that stress and don't need it.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's a
you're
talent
going
and
to
ability.
see,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. You see it.
Yeah.
Your intuition is one that probably most people commonly report. You
Yeah.
will have almost the answer and decision for something before somebody asks you about it or you see it, almost like a precognition almost.
Yeah.
And when I started getting
And
that, I
Brad,
was a little eerie. What? I'm sorry. Am I
Brad
running my
hate.
mouth too
No, that's
much?
okay. No, Brad hates that because I'll say things and you go, just stole my thunder.
Oh yeah. Well, I steal
Yeah.
yours too.
Yeah. So you had some stuff you wanted to cover.
I did.
Your video. Your video.
Yes. This video is of I guess, wormhole or portal. I don't know which one. So to set it up here, this is a Blue Angel show, and the point of view that you're seeing, of course, is in the cockpit, and you're seeing the pilot looking out the canopy. So it's like an over the shoulder, over the helmet view. And I'm going to go really slow, frame by frame, and show you something that comes in through the sky. And as you can see, it's a pretty clear sky, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You'll notice the reflections off the canopy in the sun, but you'll be able to tell what is what. But what I'm going to
Look at all
show
those
you,
chemtrails.
no, those aren't chemtrails. Those are clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
And I'm going to, okay. So he's flying, right? He's cruising, going really slow here. So you can see that he's just in
Where are
his
we looking?
F-18 suit. Well, you're going to see. I just want you to see that
Okay.
this pilot, you can see he's banking, right? He's banking to the left and he's flying through
Okay.
clear sky, right? The clouds are going by him. You can see there, I mean, there's the sun, right?
Mhm.
And then he's cruising. Just be patient because you have to see it in the frame that I'm doing it, because it happens so quick. If I go any faster, you're going to miss it, and I'm going to break it down here for y'all.
Okay.
Robin hasn't seen this yet.
No, I wanted to be surprised.
So we're coming up on it. Pay attention up here. I'm pointing with my hand like you can see.
I know, I was gonna say again.
Right. I'm like, what the hell am I
Where?
doing? Hold on. Let me.
Okay,
Okay. So like right in this area.
I can't see.
You're going to.
Okay, where that little dot is? Oh, two dots.
Is it?
Is that what we're looking at? Is that fume? The dot that turned
No.
into a fume? Oh, is that a ship? Look at that. It forms
No,
into
that's
a
the
huge
reflection.
ship.
No, that's the
Oh,
reflection of his helmet.
oh, okay.
Where
I was
the
gonna say,
hell
what
is
is
it?
that?
Thought I had
I
it.
was
Hold
gonna,
on. Hold on. I might have gone too far.
okay, so that's his helmet.
Yeah, that's his helmet. The guy who sent me this, I have to give shout out to Dr. Robert Scheib, who has a channel called Custodian Files. And he sent me this video and he gave me the video uh, marker. I just forgot which point it's at to where you see the F-18 and then you see the tear in the sky with a craft come through. I just don't know which point it's at though.
Oh, that's a whole hour show.
Yeah, I'm not going to show the whole thing.
Okay. I thought you had it.
I thought I had it too. Sorry, y'all. You're probably like, hurry the hell up, dude.
Yeah. And these are the Blue Angels. So
Yeah.
while you're trying to find it, I'll tell them my story about the Blue Angels. I don't think
Okay,
I've
you
told it
do
on
that.
here yet.
I'll stop
So
sharing this
I
so they don't see me and you talk.
Okay. So, I was raised in California and I was about, I don't know if I was 7 or 8. We lived in this house till I was 10. Then we moved to Spokane, Washington. But we lived in Sunnyvale, California, next to a cherry orchard. Oh, we talked about that last time
Mm-hmm.
because we talked about the birds and, and, and that bad movie. Um, and so the Blue Angels would always fly over our house. They would always do practice runs, and because for a show that they would do, they were practicing, and somehow they always flew over our house in formation. And so whenever we could hear them before we could see them, because they have a loud sound, and so we would always run to either outside or to a window so we could watch them. So this house in the back, at the kitchen and eating area, it was all windows and it was windows. The whole wall was windows. So it was all like a screen and to go outside. And then it was just all windows. So it was just me and my mom home. And so we could hear the Blue Angels. So we go, oh, the Blue Angels. So we stopped everything. We went and we stood at the back slider, and the slider was closed and there was no, the screen was open, but that we were just looking outside the slider. And both my mom and I look up so we could wait to see the angels. And as we looked up, there's a UFO, a total silver UFO hovering right over the backyard,
What'd your
but
mom
up
say?
high. Well, my mom, I mean, we just looked at it. I mean, we are just looking at it and there's silence. And then that's when my mom looked down at me and she goes, "Are you seeing that?" And I looked at her and I said, "Yeah." And then we both look up and it's gone and the Blue Angels come by. So I had a witness, my mom and I actually both together saw a UFO So I don't know if the Blue Angels were going after the UFO or if they were in formation because I know UFOs are very attracted to the Blue Angels and they like to fly with them or fly around them while they're in their practice run. So that's my first UFO experience. It was clear as day. Um, and I could tell you it was just a basic silver craft, just basic. And it was
Got
up
it.
in the sky where the can you hear me? My it seems like
Yeah.
my you can hear me, Brad?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you. My earbuds, I'm having issues with my earbuds.
You need to charge them.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. You keep going. I can't hear you.
Okay. So what I so I'm gonna play this and y'all need to pay attention right in this area. You're gonna see a
Mhm.
craft come
Uh-uh.
through. Basically, what Rob and I have been saying is either a
Mm.
wormhole or a portal of some sort. And I'm going to go as slow as I can to ensure y'all catch this. You see it start to open. Robin, can you hear me? See it? It popped out of nowhere right there. It just came out of this, a tear in the sky, and there's a craft right
Sorry, I think
there.
I lost you
I
on
got you. I can hear you.
hearing. For some
I can,
reason, this happened the other day too, how my earbuds just
you're
they
going to have
don't
to check your
last.
audio. Click on the audio thing on the left,
And
on the bottom
so
left, and see if
keep going.
your
I'll see if I
if
can just go on
if your
to
speaker
regular.
says okay. So right there it comes in. So let's go back. It comes in slowly. It's opening up right here. You start to see it move. This little wormhole or this tear in the sky, and it's opening, and you see the light right there. That's where the sky opens right there. And then before you know it, pops out the spacecraft.
That's
So you
cool.
see the light. Yeah, you see
I
that.
can
You can
hear
hear
you.
me? Yeah,
Yeah, I put you on the computer.
you saw the light, right? So you start to see it build up. You see the formation.
Yeah.
That little wormhole is building up. It's getting longer, and then you start to see more activity in that area, and it's not cloud. And you see the light. You see that bright light,
Oh yeah.
and then craft right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yep,
Right there.
yep, right there.
Crazy.
Just out of nowhere, and it flies in right in front of this F-18. Keeps
Yeah,
dropping
see,
in
they like
altitude.
doing that.
They do that. There he is
Yeah.
again, and then he's down there. He's there, and then he's gone.
Yep. And that's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah,
And I really think that they just it was waiting
popped
for
out.
him.
Did it pop out of the sky? Your
Mine,
craft that you saw? Yeah.
well, it was just there when we looked up. It was just right there. But then when I looked at my mom and we were talking for 1 second and we looked back up, then the Blue Angels were there and the craft was nowhere in sight. So it just vanished.
I mean, that's got to be a wormhole just opening up out of nowhere for
Yeah.
that that intelligent craft to come in. So it by design
Portal.
created that pathway here into Earth or this part of the sky and
Hmm.
just flew right in front of a jet. I mean,
Yeah.
I can only imagine being a fighter pilot, flying these things and seeing that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of stories of these guys that see a lot of these little wormhole pop just open out of nowhere. They come in and sometimes they disappear into another hole wormhole
Yep.
and they're they're unseen again.
Yeah.
They manipulate physics.
Yep. Yeah. And they can't understand it. When you talk to pilots, they don't understand how that thing could move and turn and the angles, and to have a either a person or entity in that. They said no human or person could survive that kind of angle of
Yeah.
flying, boom, boom, like
Yeah, those
that.
G forces and that speed.
Yes.
And as the pilot, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to crash into this thing. But it moves so quick
Yeah.
that it's gone before they blink. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That was cool. Very good.
yeah.
And there's a lot of those kind of things out there,
Hmm.
that you just see appear in the sky and then go. So let me, we'll just kind of tie this up with
Sure.
just a little bit of channeling I did. This is just actually very short, and it talks about stargates, and it says there are thousands all over the world, which we know. It is said that the Middle East has the most.
Mm,
Um, or at least they used to, but many have been closed or relocated to the Russian mountains range.
really?
Yeah. And I've talked about the Ural Mountains and a lot of activity because it's so open and vast and there's no humans, and it's rich in a lot of minerals and metals, and they've actually have recovered parts of crashes there at the Ural Mountains. So there's a show of this cylinder that they found that it wasn't anything from the Earth, like as part of some sort of device. The production of oil was made possible by our star friends, it said. Where oil is concentrated, the star friends came to make this possible to sustain ourselves in the future, which is now. So then it kind of changes gear of talking about oil is from our star friends that they produce the oil for us in the future. Let's see. And it said, I don't think I have it on here, but it said that a lot of the Stargates were closed down in the Middle East due to the war, that they can't have those open in the war
And
time.
we took some,
And what?
and the Americans took one,
We took what?
a Stargate.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the Middle East, there's a Stargate somewhere
I'm
that's
sure
probably
there's,
not in the
yeah,
hands of the right people.
yep.
And I'm sure all over the world, there's at least, I'm sure like Russia probably has one. I'm sure we have one, or maybe
China,
two. I'm sure there is several that are saved.
Antarctica.
Yes, yes, we will have to talk about that. Because I did a Google map one day on Antarctica because I was channeling it. And there was like this volcano that it was like,
Hmm.
and I just kept going down and down and down in it with the Google because I thought there's something in there. And I went down, down, down. I was able to go down like into it, and it was totally like a port, like a craft port. They're like
Yeah,
UFOs, and it's like a round cylinder object, and then there's a thing coming out, and there's a couple of them down in this cavern of mountain.
it's like a
And I
parking
went,
garage for them. Yeah.
yeah. And then so there's must be something under there. So one day we'll
Oh,
have to
there's a
talk about
lot.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
So
do have portals there, and that was confirmed by a whistleblower, a former Navy SEAL, to
yeah,
have a Stargate.
yeah. And then the Black Pyramid. We'll have to,
Yeah.
there's a Black Pyramid on top of the
Hmm.
Antarctic and below.
And it's confirmed every continent has a pyramid now.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, because I think there's going to be a time where the world shifts and changes a little bit, and it'll be interesting to actually see those activated.
I all I want to see
Yeah.
him lift off the ground. I
I don't,
love it.
well, I don't know if they'll lift or they got something coming out of them.
Or
Who knows
both.
what?
Some
Yeah,
might lift.
true.
Yep.
Yeah. So it'd be good.
Well, we went a little long-winded, everybody, but
Yeah.
we didn't mean to get preachy in the beginning, but
Yeah.
we just kind of added a little bit of bonus perspective. And I apologize for taking so long to get that video bit because I did want you to see it because it is cool.
Yeah.
But Stargates and portals,
Hmm.
we could go on for days
Yeah.
about this topic. And
Yeah.
this is just sharing notes and homework with everyone and hoping you guys have new questions instead of the just watching the stuff that's out there,
Yeah.
have a different perspective on it, especially with Robin's intuitive and her channelings and her angle. And yeah, give us a thumbs up, comment, please subscribe. We are working on this and we have a lot of cool topics. And I don't even know what's for next week.
I do. The Ghosts of Gettysburg.
Oh, yes.
I am super excited about that one. We are gonna, and also we have planned out all of December. You guys are gonna get great topics, and we have a
Hmm.
guest, and she's gonna come at the end of the month of December, and
And
it's
she's really
Morgan
cool.
Lynn, and we are gonna talk about shadow work and kind of delving into that. And she has other things that she talks about, but she is a
Spiritual
pro.
healing. Yep.
Yep. And so you don't want to miss it when we have Morgan also on it. I think that's on December 28th. But next week is going to be awesome. I'm super excited about Gettysburg. And one
One
day
of the
we're
most
going to get
haunted
there
places
too,
in
Brad.
America. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's people say it's like you can't go there and not see something almost. That's how haunted it is.
My folks, when I was a kid, we flew to New York and drove all the way back to Spokane, Washington. And
Hmm.
my dad did points of interest and we hit the Civil War. And we went to a couple houses and stuff of the Civil War. And I think we even found a bullet in the ground. We were all walking around, and I think we found a little round one. But it was it's a place that's I want to go back because I don't think
Yeah.
I fully respected it when I went as a kid.
Yeah. When you're a kid, you don't take it in the same.
No, I didn't really
Mm.
fully understand what it all meant. So
And you've got a bit of history from the Civil War too.
yes, and we'll present that
Physical
if I
history.
still have. I gave a lot to a cousin, but I think it was a great great grandfather. I was adopted, so it's on my mom's side, and I think he was a captain. I have to look exactly what he was, but I actually had his envelope when at the end of the war, they had to turn in their guns and their rifle that the government gave them. And so there's two papers, one saying we need your rifle. You need to return it back to the armory. And then another paper I have is that he did return it back to the armory. So, and then I had the envelope and the date of that
Yeah.
letter. So it hasn't
The
fallen apart
records. Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But I'll see if I still have it or if I gave it to my cousins.
No, I mean that's all history. And
Yeah.
it needs to be remembered. If you still have stuff intact,
Yeah.
that's rare.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, Ghost of Gettysburg, y'all. It'll be next week.
yep.
It'll be kind of creepy.
No, it
Ghosts are
won't be
always
creepy.
not creepy, but creepy in a good way.
It's gonna
Cre
be
Creepy is to me is informative with a different perspective paradigm on it because it of its history and what it was and what is still there apparently.
yes.
A lot of roaming souls.
There are. And I'm gonna bring in President Lincoln on this one too. So
Love it.
yeah. So he's a big part of what I want to talk about. So you
Absolutely.
guys,
All
thank you
right.
for hanging
for
with us.
tuning
I
in.
really appreciate you being here. I know these are long, but you know what? We just have so much to say. So you
We
can
do.
watch like 15 minutes
We
and come
do.
back the next day and watch
Yeah.
15 more minutes and just keep going
Yeah.
watching us. And
Mark it on your favorites.
we're having a good time. And so if you have any ideas or any things you want us to talk about, put them in the comments below
Yes,
and we'll
that would
discover
help
that.
too,
Yep.
because
And
we will
so
rabbit hole that for sure.
yep, and just above this is all our links to my store, my Patreon, to your meetup groups. So come visit us there. We got lots of stuff we do on the side besides this channel, which we love.
Hmm.
And there's just more to us to unpack.
Yep. And we're just starting out. So thanks for tuning, everybody.
Yeah,
Love y'all.
thank
Robin, good
you.
night.
Yeah.
I'll
Good
talk to you in a
night,
bit.
Brad.
Bye bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.